I'm Pranav, I'm the founder of Climb City. I started climbing around 10 years ago when a friend took me out to a climbing center. I think I was immediately hooked because it has such a deep problem-solving aspect compared to other sports. So we created this space to bring the joy of climbing to everyone, whether you're a first-timer or a pro. Here's a quick warm-up before you start up on the wall. This exercise is called a wrist curl. This is to warm up your forearms. So what you'll do is you'll place your wrist right above your knee and make sure you extend this to the bottom and then pull it to the top to get the full range of motion. Similarly, we need to warm up this part of our forearm. So we'll place our wrist again, our knee again, and then we'll pull it this way. So this exercise warms up the inside of your forearm and the outside of your forearm. This exercise is called external rotations. This is for the rotator cuff. So what we'll do is we'll bend one knee, the same hand and the same foot. This arm will have our palms facing towards the ceiling. We'll bring the weight down and then we'll pull it back up. Bring it down, pull it back up. Next warm-up exercise is called scapular pull-ups. This is to warm up your shoulder blade and your shoulders. What you'll do is you'll start by hanging completely by disengaging your shoulders, and your biceps will be touching your ears. Then you'll pull from your scapula so that your ears come away from your biceps. You'll depress the scapula again and then pull your scapula so that your ears come away from your biceps. Next exercise is for the lower body, since a lot of climbing happens on the toes. So we'll start with calf raises. So you'll be in a regular standing position and then you'll push your toes in a way that your heels come up and then you bring them down slowly to the ground. Again, bring your heels up and then let them go back to the ground. This exercise is primarily for your quads, but it also engages your hamstrings, your glutes and the calves. So in total, it's a very good warm-up for your legs. So we'll be in a seated position. We'll keep our leg extended without using any momentum. We'll stand up on one leg and then we'll slowly come back down. Sit down again, slowly stand up back again. Make sure to repeat this for both the legs to get a proper warm-up. Next warm-up exercise is called the pigeon pose. This is a really good hip opener and extremely good warm-up for your glutes. So what we'll do is we'll place our toe at a 90-degree angle to our knee, while our other leg is fully extended straight at the back. And now what we'll do is we'll try to twist this leg inside and we'll try to push the hip for which the knee is bent. We'll try to push it towards the ground. Okay, we keep one hand on our toe and one hand on our knee and push up. Now to stretch your glutes further, you can start extending your hands forward and fully twist one foot and then push the hip towards the ground. Before we start climbing, here are some key points that you need to be clear on. First is observation and third-person climbing. Once you're sure about what the route is, you make a complete memory map of each move where you're thinking of hand movements plus foot movements, so that while you're climbing, you're not thinking and just executing. Usually when we start climbing, we get in the habit of pulling too much and keeping our body too close to the wall. But initially, it's important that we stay in a hanging position and press more on our feet. What this does is it pushes our body outside the wall. But if we are hanging in a hanging position, we can use more of our feet to push up. Another key point is how to use your toes. Initially, what ends up happening is that a lot of people use the ball of their foot, and that disables us from moving and pivoting on the wall. When we push on our toe, we are able to maneuver our body on our toes and change direction on the wall very easily. This helps us move more efficiently on the wall. Maintaining 3 points of contact. If you think of your body as a tripod, you'll always find better balance if you have 3 points. It could be 2 arms, 1 leg. It could be 1 arm, 2 legs. But it's essential that we have 3 points of contact on the wall. Here are some common injuries that are prevalent in climbing. Very first injury is knee twist, ankle sprains, and a wrist strain. These usually happen due to an improper falling technique. When we are falling off the wall, we have to make sure that we land in a squatted position, land on our toes, not on our heels. Never to place our wrist on the mats, finger tendon strains. So these usually happen when we overgrip holds or we try a route that is beyond our capability when we are tired. This is a full crimp. But ideally, we are supposed to do a half crimp and then move. Again, not use your thumb, and resting is key. Elbow tendonitis. So climbing involves a lot of pulling movement, and over a period of time, this creates imbalance in our shoulder. So it's important that we do antagonist training, which is push movements to complement the amount of pulling that we are doing during climbing. Shoulder impingement. When we're trying some hard moves overhead and our shoulder or our scapula is not engaged properly, it can put load on our smaller muscles. So the idea is to engage the larger muscles, which are our lats and our scapula, and this will avoid all shoulder injuries. If you want to learn more about climbing or maybe do your first session, you're most welcome at Climb City.